Hello, beautiful Taurian souls, and welcome to your 2025 Tarot Forecast. This is your psychic advisor, Micah, and I am here to give you some guidance and clarity on what to expect in the year of 2025. Let's get the party started. All right, hi Taurus, how are you? How's your mother? How's everything going? This is actually very interesting to see because I've been doing a lot of readings today. And I keep seeing the Knight of Pentacles coming up in the first house for not only you in this reading, but for other people that I've been reading for who are not under the sign of Taurus. So it's very interesting. The Nine of Pentacles has been this card that I've always interpreted as like Real Housewives or like RuPaul's Drag Race or like reality TV, Love and Hip Hop. Like it's like a woman in like makeup and hair and wig, that type of stuff. Like dressed to the nines. But more recently, I have been seeing it as like a Disney princess. And I have a huge chip on my shoulder about Princess Tiana and the frog movie or whatever. So maybe that has something to do with it. But that's what I've been seeing. But people could just be looking at you as like a Disney princess or something. So that's what I see. All right. Going on. That's like the first card that I see. But so just to keep everything on track and in cohesion with all the other videos, we are first going to talk about what I call descending energy, like energy that you're walking away from, and that is the Knight of Cups. So this is energy that you can expect to experience at the end of 2024, like November, December, and at the beginning of 2025, like January, February, March 2025. Is the Knight of Cups reversed, and especially with that being, this representing March, this could be a Pisces friend that you have discovered is like very insincere, or might be a little slow. They don't care for you very much. Like, I think like Mateo Lane has some podcasts like I Never Liked You or something like that. So there's like Pisces around you that aren't necessarily great for you. And you probably have a lot of Piscean friends. This Piscean friend is more likely a, oh my god, is more likely a, I just like, spilled something, which is also very, Knight of Cups reversed. So if you're trying to like narrow down like who is this Pisces, because I know so many Pisces, they are most likely a Pisces that drives a car. They may no longer be with a car or may no longer be mobile, okay? So you might be chauffeuring your Pisces friend around at the beginning of 2025 and at the end of 2024. And back to the Nine of Pentacles in the month of April 2025, the season of Aries. So it's like if you need a... So when April rolls around 2025, or right now when you're listening to this video, if you're feeling like you need a self-esteem boost, you have everything that you need. You may not just be wearing your super nice fancy clothes. And I mean, like it's not unheard of. You might get a job at Disney. You might become a Disney princess or prince or Disney character, or Sony or some type of thing that's similar to that. You may start doing voiceover work, something that's really going to boost your self-esteem. I also see this card as like not being afraid to be flamboyant and wear bright colors, which can be very healing to your chakras, like color magic and all those types of things. So that is the theme that's going on in April 2025. And then I see happy birthday and your birth season of the season of Taurus in... some Tauruses are born in April, but this is May 2025 in the season of Taurus. We have the Ace of Cups. So, throughout 2025, you might be feeling like a very fancy woman. You might have an emotional support cup, like a Stanley. I have this maybe negative connotation of people that drink out of those cups, especially if it's like a Taurus or a Capricorn or Earth sign. Like, a lot of people secretly drink. A lot of people are in pain. It may not be good to mix pills with alcohol, but that might be like your remedy that you're doing right now. which isn't good, you know. But it's like, back pain and things like that might be stopping you from making money. So I see that a lot of other Tauruses will be very generous with you in your birth month. So you could just be having like a huge Taurus blowout birthday party. Um, Someone in your office could be putting something in your Stanley cup. So it's kind of better to have like a clear cup or actually I've been, I don't know. I saw this commercial like on YouTube for these like cup covers. So just keep your drink covered if you're going out drinking a lot around your birthday. Drink an espresso martini, Red Bull and vodka. Because I guess like I don't, I'm not a doctor or a scientist, but I guess if someone does put something in your drink, the caffeine would help. Um, this also says to me that saying I love you, or the people that say I love you, or the people that love you will be a great financial resource for you, and they will help your cup overflow. So just as I'm saying that, you're walking away from an insincere water sign, most likely a Pisces with a car who may have lost their car, uh, the tea that they spill might be a great resource for you. You could become a bartender, a barista, drinks, selling cups, maybe like a mug with your name on it or something like that, like from Printful or one of those companies would be good for you. Like if you have an office or something, dress to the nines, where have a mug that has your name, your company's name on it. I also see this like I was working with this company doing like manifestation water bottles. So when it comes to terms of magic, it could be just like writing your goals or turning every drink that you drink into a magical spell by writing like, you know, uh, beauty potion on your favorite mug or money potion on your favorite cup, whatever it is. And that is something that you'll be breaking into around your birthday in 2025. Um, yeah, so that's a good thing. It's a good thing. I love Martha Stewart. And then Martha Stewart, Ina Gardner, Martha Stewart, Barefoot Contessa, all very Nine of Pentacles as well. And moving right along into the season of Gemini and the month of June. I always confuse June and July. If you watch these videos, you'll hear me trip over those every time. Is the Chariot reverse. So there is a lot of messages here about car trouble, car accidents. A Gemini that you know could have been in a car accident, a Gemini, a Libra, and a Cancer that you know could have all been in a car accident. The Chariot reverse, my interpretation, outside of, a ghost shaking me by the shoulders and telling me what it means, is especially reverse. I'm like, it's like a website going down, a car crash, not having a car, not having a website, not having spiritual protection. So it could be like you not wearing your seatbelt. It could be you um, driving around in a car that you're not supposed to be driving in. All those types of things are present in the season of Gemini and the month of June. Um, so what do you do about that? Before June 2024, like get your car checked out, save up your money. Um, and it's also about a website going down. So, you could have been investing a lot of time and energy into Facebook only for MySpace to come up and have a huge resurgence, or what is it called? Like SoundCloud. Um, I guess with the Chariot, it's more like Uber or Lyft, which I know in some cities like Uber is illegal. So you might move, so it's like the Chariot reverse, like you're in the environment somewhere where Uber is illegal or not active. You're in an environment where your car is not allowed to be driven, or certain websites aren't granting you access. And that is going to be a kerfuffle that you deal with in the season of July, uh, the season of Gemini, in the month of June. I mean, June, July, whatever. It could be like towards the end of the month or something. But so how do you mitigate that, or how do you circumvent that? It will probably tell me a little bit later in the reading, but I would say just like double check, make sure your car is doing in ship shape. And then in the actual month of July and in the season of Cancer, we have the Emperor reverse, which the Emperor is the fourth card of the tarot deck. It is represented by the energy of the number four. It is also a red slash orange card that carries somewhat of like an Aries, Martian, fiery energy. But I do see it having a high connection or a very deep connection to the sign of Cancer because it's the fourth card. And Cancer is the fourth sign of like maternity and nurturing. But I guess this is saying to me that like men can also be maternal and nurturing and feminine. The Emperor reversed, I think, or what I've been message I've been receiving is that sometimes it's like a trans person, like a man who has transitioned into a woman. Uh, Sometimes it's like a beard, so someone who's like in a lavender marriage or some type of arrangement like that, where there's like some disingenuine energy around the husband or male playing character of the relationship or the more masculine character of the relationship. And they could be dethroned or knocked off their seats. You could just you maybe not just don't have like a lazy boy in your house and there's no comfortable places to sit in your house. Uh, yeah. And I guess like political landscape, like if you're doing your cards at home, I do often see the emperor representing Donald Trump. I don't necessarily see other cards representing other political or celebrity figures or whatever, but he's kind of like a palpable force. So there might be something going wrong with him or people that are similar to him or that look like him. And maybe it's just shade, I don't know, because like, his face is all orange. This is the only orange card. I've done readings in the past where he's been represented by this card. So there's something going on with him or people like him, cancers. And also cancers are known, I sometimes forget, but they're known for sort of having like an attitude or aggression or anger. And maybe you forgot how angry and aggressive your mother can be. Maybe you've forgotten how angry and aggressive cancers are and can be. So just be aware of that energy around their birthday. Maybe they're looking for like a happy birthday message from you. Just do that, and I guess you'll have a good time. It also talks about like a like destabilization of power. So I mean, it could be like Reddit going down. It could be 4chan going down. Whatever, some website you're investing a lot of time and energy in could be no more, or not as regulated and losing structure. A lot of websites I've been on have been kind of clunky, so I don't know any particular. The Wendy's app, that's one I've been using, and it's kind of glitchy. Uh, okay, and then so moving right along, I don't mean to zoom past these months, but they do kind of look like taxing trials and tribulations. Other than the fact that I see the Nine of Pentacles here, so you might be going through struggles, but you'll be hydrated, and you'll be looking good, and you'll be singing like a Disney princess. You just might be experiencing car troubles and some like things with your mom and the political landscape. But moving into the month of August and the season of Leo, which is a place that in these readings I do like to focus on because it talks about obstacles, right? So it's like that you're doing well, you've been hanging out, dressing good, drinking water, you know that your car doesn't work very well, you know that you don't like Donald Trump so much, and like so what do you do? You know what I mean? Like what do you do? Like they tried to shoot him, it didn't work. They tried to they body shame him, which is my belief that no press is bad press. And whenever I guess this whole video is gonna be about Donald Trump now. Um, I don't know. I definitely believe in conspiracy theories, and the Illuminati, and people having control of the media and stuff like that. So to me, it always feels like even when they're trying to bash him, it's like there's so many good things to bash him with, but they choose the like softest thing that they can find. Like, oh, his hands are small, or he said this, he said that. It's like he doesn't pay his taxes and he's like a horrible racist, redlining, like whatever, whatever. But I think that most people in America probably agree with him or are similar or would behave the same way if they're in the same position. So maybe that's something that you're dealing with, Taurus. And Tauruses do tend to love like the Wolf of Wall Street, New York. It's a very like Taurus state and city. Uh, I guess specifically like Manhattan. But what will help you overcome these feelings? So if you're like just really torn up about the political landscape, maybe your mom is Kamala Harris, and your car is not working. There's like an evil fascist in the White House, or attempting to become president, and you might have a bunch of Trump supporters, or you might have a bunch of Kamala Harris supporters trying to attack you in the month of August, because I have the Seven of Wands here. But this is also a card of you having the higher ground in conflicts and altercations. So there's going to be a Leo or fire signs and Sagittarius's, Aries perhaps the whole fire gang that are going to be like challenging you. You say you're this tall, but are you really? Let's get a measurement, and you're going to be able to defeat all of these attacks because they're coming from a very low place. So, you might feel like Taurus, you might feel like there's somebody or there are people who are trying to expose, things that you stole, music that you stole, items that you stole, time that you've stolen, and you're gonna be able to shut it down like immediately, like clear it like a check. You know what I mean? Oh, like almost by like just showing your ID or something, like someone saying that you're not who you say that you are, and you just show them your ID, and then it's like okay, whatever. And seven is a very powerful number, or a very like apparent number in this reading. We got the Seven of Wands here, we got the Seven of Swords, and the Seven of Cups in the center of this reading, representing the encompassing energy for 2025 for you. And we also have the Chariot, so it's like the mother seven and all of her children. The Seven of Cups reversed, though, at the center of your reading, does talk about confusion ending and you being able to finally focus and accomplish your goals. You might be thinking, like, I need a ton of jewelry, I need to slay a dragon, I need to, win the Olympics, I need to be beautiful, and I need to have a deep understanding of the unknown and a house and all these other things. But you will accomplish those things in due time. It is only a matter of time. You just have to focus on one cup at a time. So it's almost like being in a drinking competition or an eating contest, and it's like, oh man, like I have to eat, these hot dogs and these hamburgers and whatever, whatever. But I don't even know if this is how hot dog eating competitions go, but it's almost like when they like take the hot dog out of the bun and then like dip it in the water to like eat the bun and then eat the hot dog. So it's something like that. Like I don't know like what would be in seven sections, but it's like eating crab legs or something, and you're like, I'm gonna eat all the little tiny crab legs first, all the big ones, and then I'm gonna like break into the main part of the crab or whatever it is. So it may not be eating, but with Taurus it probably is eating, or drinking or whatever it is. Like you might have to drink a lot of water. You might be on medication. Um, so it's like, you wake up in the morning and it's like, okay, have a cup of coffee or tea, drink some water, drink some kombucha, drink a Gatorade, drink a this, a drink of that. And all these things will be healing for you as long as you get it into a routine. So that's the thing too. Like someone might be questioning you about your daily routine or your habits, and you're going to be able to tell them to shut up. And what is going to help you? So, I mean, the obstacle here is just the fact that people are challenging you. But with the Seven of Wands, you'll be able to overcome these challenges. You have the higher ground. What will help your work situation and your health is the moon reversed. So, you might be you might be a lone wolf. You might be fighting off all these people by yourself. And what will help you is making more friends, perhaps at work, perhaps at school, your neighbors, the people that you see every day. Uh, And, like, I'm not trying to be like, oh, abandon your dog. But that's what the moon card says. It's like, so when I see the Six of Cups, which I don't see in this reading, as an obstacle, I'm like, you have too much, like, nostalgic trinkets, too many keepsakes or mementos, memories, whatever, crowding your space, and people think it's creepy. Like, I said, very typical thing in the gay world is like people will collect Barbies or something because they weren't allowed to have them when they were a kid, and now you got a wall of 20 Barbies, and it's like every potential Hinge or Tinder, Grinder, whatever date you go on, they're like, what's with all the Barbies? So the moon card in this position is like you smell like your dog, you have dog hair all over you, um, you know, like just all the bad smells that come with dogs. Like it's like affecting your health, it's affecting your mind, it's affecting your potential, like it's getting in the way of your destiny. So perhaps it's time to get a smaller dog or to not be a dog owner any longer. Your dog might be like a wild feral animal, like a coyote or something like that. You might be very addicted to being alone and having your alone time, and it's time to let some people into your life. And just as like a quick bias read for 2025, I see that water signs will be helpful in ending the confusion that's going on in your mind. So perhaps you need a reading from a Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces friend. I see that earth signs will be very compatible with you, especially Capricorn, especially in the month of April. And then moving out of September, so the moon card reverse, what's going to help your work and your health. These are things that are going to be brought up in September 2025. It could also even be like you might be working on an app called like Luna or something, like a moon tracking app, and it's like time to give it up because those things probably already exist. Um, you might give up on working on developing a website. And I see what you're attracting is the Two of Pentacles. So just to backtrack, me talking about like what energies are going to be the most compatible for you, I see that like earth signs are good, air signs are good, water signs are good, fire signs are bringing you nothing but challenges this year, or yeah, in this year or in 2025. And you're attracting a relationship with another Taurus. So as I was saying in the second house, that there's going to be a lot of Tauruses, putting coins in your cup. You might be busking or something, busking, panhandling, asking for donations, whatever it is. I see that Taurus is going to be really good for that, and I see that you're going to be very entertaining in the month of October. So in October 2025, in the season of Libra, you're going to be very entertaining. You're going to do really well at entertaining yourself, which might become prosperous. So you might be recording yourself singing songs or something like that, and you're going to find a way to make money off of it, um, with time. So that's a good thing to see. The month of October and the season of Libra, I always say it is the month of attraction. So if you believe in the law of attraction, you've been asking for these things, these manifestations, like, enough money to go on a trip or enough money to become a juggler or, whatever it is that you're trying to do. I see that you'll accomplish that by October 2025. And you might be saying, affirming things like, I want to get my finances balanced, or I want to balance my finances. So with that affirmation, you're attracting a time period where you are now balancing your finances, but you're not necessarily in abundance. So what I would like to see in a reading, like if I was doing a reading for myself, actually would be the Two of Pentacles in the first house of Aries and the Nine of Pentacles in the seventh house of Libra. I would love to switch these because it's like, okay, currently or earlier in the year, you're balancing your finances. And by the time that the harvest is rolling around, you are a privileged woman just like walking through your vineyard picking grapes right off the vine. So, April, you're doing really well. You probably spend a lot of money, crash your car, uh, invade a Trump rally or invade a Kamala Harris rally. and then you won't be doing so well financially in the season of Libra. You might have like $2 or $20 in your account, which is not great, but it happens. So like, what do you do? You know what I mean? So like I say in all these videos, you obviously you read this, you listen to this reading ahead of time, and you start affirming better things. Like, I'm living in abundance, my money is multiplying, all the money I spend is doubled, tripled return to me. You start saving more, you start drinking less. Perhaps don't fight a bunch of Trump supporters. Maybe you won't have the maybe you don't have the choice to, but just like avoid those types of things. Maybe drive a little bit less. Um, Maybe take the bus when you can. If you Uber everywhere or take lifts everywhere or drive everywhere, it's okay to walk because it'll be better for the safety and health of your car. Um, yeah, and then the Two of Pentacles is an energy that I see, like I said, representing Taurus. So if you're single in 2025, or if you become single, another Taurus could be a really good match for you. And moving into November 2025 in the season of Scorpio, we have the Justice card reversed. So, like I said, the beginning of 2025 might feel, like I said, like a lot of trial and tribulations. And you definitely, I don't see a card recommending this, but just from these cards, it seems like a recommendation that you would possibly need uh, some intuitive affirmations, or just need to start affirming that you're like already at the finish line, not which a lot of affirmations, when they're not super glowingly positive or um not like, I guess, like having like low vibrational affirmations might feel more practical, right? Because if you're like 200 pounds overweight and you're like, I'm gonna go win the gold in the Olympics, that might seem like a very lofty, unattainable goal. But if you're like, I'm already good enough to be in the Olympics, I'm entering, I won the gold, and I'm being celebrated. They're not mocking me like those break dancers or whatever. Uh, you'll be attracting greater, bigger, brighter things. Because you could be 200 pounds overweight and become a professional breakdancer, not have to lose the weight at all. I say 200, it might be 20, it might be 2 pounds, 2 pounds overweight, 20 pounds overweight. Um, you might be like, oh, I want to lose 20 pounds, I want to lose 20 pounds so that I can become an Olympian and win the gold. But I feel like when you affirm things like, I'm going to be a gold medalist Olympic breakdancer, um, everything that, like, all the bricks that are supposed to be laid in that path will be laid, right? So, if you are in chronic pain and you're like, I want to be an Olympian, uh, you being an Olympian is also affirming and manifesting that chronic pain to be gone. It is also affirming and manifesting that your website is doing well, and that you have a vehicle, and that you have transportation, and that you look nice, and like everything that you want it to be when you get there. And in the past couple of readings, I have been talking about unconditional alignment. So it's like there's all these great things that are, like I said, in unconditional alignment with you. So, you lit the candle, you said the prayers for manifestations for you to become an Olympian. Like, at that time period, if you sit around eating Big Macs all day, and you get there and you're, like I said, like 200 pounds overweight, you're still going to get there. You're just maybe not going to be happy with what you look like when you arrive. Like, if you haven't been moisturizing your skin, if you haven't been working on your accent, if you have whatever it is, um, you will still get there. You'll still be on the podium, but like how well you do depends on how much work you put into it. So, like studying for a test, your driver's test or some other type of exam, you know that the exam is coming on Friday, you're going to take it on Friday. There's no really getting around it, but depending on how much you study, is how well that you'll do. So, you can get 1,000 tarot readings. Like, am I going to do well on this test? Am I going to pass this test? And it's like, well, it's up to you. Like, do you want to do well? Do you want to succeed? And to just take this rant all the way back to what the Justice card reversed in your eighth house in the season of Scorpio means is um, that you're probably affirming like, oh, like my life has been so unfair, my car broke, whatever the situation is, and or car broke or car got broken into, and you're like, oh, life is so unfair, life is so unfair. So what you have to affirm is you're already a gold medal Olympian, your car is fine, and that life is fair. So you might see something happen, like I said, with your car, and you just have to be like, okay, this is the best of all possible worlds. Perhaps I wasn't meant to drive today um, because uh, safety. Like could have like, luckily maybe your car broke or was stolen, before you got into it because maybe you had an accident that day or something, and maybe there is like confirmation of situations like that. And as I was talking about McDonald's, the other day or a couple days ago, I was craving McDonald's so bad, wanted it so bad, but the closest one near my house like closed. Chariot reversed. They closed down, and I was like, man, I really want to try that chicken Big Mac, and I don't know, like I just want like food, like a Big Mac or something. And then I found out that it has E. coli. So I was like, okay, there's a huge E. coli breakout. I was like, okay, so it wasn't meant for me to have this Big Mac. I was meant to go eat the other things that I ate or whatever it was, or the food that I had at home. Um, Things like that. And that will come to a head in November. And November, like I said, is a Scorpion season. So that is a good time to have like revelations of readings that you've gotten in the past or confirmation of what's going on. And moving right along into the season of Sagittarius in the month of December, we have the Judgment card upright. So if there's a lot of energy between you and Scorpio and water signs, and a lot of energy between you and Sagittarius and fire signs. Like I said, that I feel like fire signs will be somewhat of a challenge for you in 2025. And a lot of like amateur astrologers, or like I guess like maybe intuitive astrologers, people who don't know the Akashic records or have ever heard an astrology book. A lot of people assume that Scorpio is a fire sign, so they could be right next to those Sagittarius trying to gang up on you. And I see that like if you're trying to reconcile with somebody, I do see reconciliation happening in December. It's around the holidays, so people could be in better spirits for Christmas or whatever other winter holidays you might be celebrating. Um, but if there's like a bunch of people that you want to have reconciliations with and you don't necessarily want to wait until December 2025, you can always request spell work from me and we can get a reconciliation spell expedited for you. Um, or you can just wait until December. And then I see what's going on. So we're way, way in the future. This is January 2026. We have the Page of Swords. So in January 2026, you'll be having better connections to air signs, specifically a Gemini who might have a strong connection to a Capricorn. It might be like a Gemini Sun rising Capricorn. They have not been looking at life very clearly. They've been like averting their eyes from the obvious truths about things. Maybe it has something to do with something on their face or something with their teeth. And they are trying to like face the music or what do you call it? Face the music or like deal with reality. Or they're like finally ready to deal with the reality of their situation. And moving right along to the month of February, the season of Aquarius, we have the Eight of Swords. Eight of Swords is a very Aquarian card. You might like play the dozens or like Joan or make fun of your friends with each other, or you might make fun of yourself with your friends. Like I call it self-deprecating humor. But it's a very powerful form of manifestation. So you might be saying like, I don't have any friends, I don't need any friends, life is unfair, like all these like horrible things to yourself. And by February, you'll be kind of experiencing all of the negative affirmations that you have been putting upon yourself. And so, like I said, the benefit of getting this reading or getting any readings ahead of time is to kind of stop yourself from doing that now, in December of 2024 or whenever you're reading this video, to stop self deprecating humor, to stop negative affirmation. Because the month of February, the 11th house, the Aquarian season, I always say that this is your vibration. So, your vibration is that of the Eight of Swords, which are speaking into existence is the Chariot reverse. You might be saying, like, I don't need spiritual protection. I don't need a website. I don't need a car. And then all those things manifest. You lose your car, you lose your website, all those things that you said that you didn't need. And you might be telling the truth. You may not need those things. You may feel like life has been like unfair, but things balance out and you'll be fine. But just don't manifest other toxic things um, into your journey. The Eight of Swords also talks to me about like being itchy, specifically from like mosquitoes or like bug bites or like wanting to bind yourself. So just be aware of that. And yeah, okay, alrighty. So that's that. So like from these negative affirmations that you're using, you're kind of like putting yourself into a state where you will have to balance out your finances. And moving into March 2026, we have the Four of Pentacles here. So so by March 2026, through whatever storms that are happening in 2025, I see that you'll be sort of like holding on to your possessions, almost like hoarding them. But it's upright. So I think it's like having a hoard or like a secret hoard of money, having savings. So, especially with this being like, the Pisces month and Pisces positioning, and you having the moon, which is a Pisces card, in the Virgo position, it's like just save your money, whether if it's like $2, $20 at a time, $4, $40 at a time, $400 at a time. Don't just don't spend all of your money all at once. Don't spend it all in one place if you receive some type of like windfall. Because then I see throughout, so like I said, 2025 is going to be a very up and down, difficult year because you are receiving all of the negative things that you've manifested, and it will be difficult. But it's also like really wanting to go to college. I don't see the Hierophant here, which talks about college, but it's like really wanting to go to college or really wanting to go on a trip that you don't necessarily need to go on, for the sake of ego, and it causing like financial hardships and all these other things. And when you get out of it, you're like, I was better off, you know, doing I was doing before. And I see that the energy that you're heading towards, so like the ascending energy, which you're walking towards in 2026, is that of the Fool, which is being more carefree. So, you'll probably look back at 2025 like, why was I giving myself so many headaches? Why was I getting in my own way? How come I kept saying all these horrible things about myself to myself? And you're going to be feeling a lot more lighthearted and carefree. And if you are like a dog person, and as I'm like, throw away your dog in September, you may be picking up another one later in 2026 that is more manageable and less stinky, I guess. All right. So thank you so much for listening, Taurus. That is what I see, what you can expect for 2025. I hope that this reading offered you a lot of, well, eventually, when you reflect on it, offered you a lot of clarity and guidance in your life's journey. And if you would like to book your own tarot forecast, either on the upcoming month, upcoming year, on your ex or on your next, or whomever, you can do so on my website, and I will see you in my next video. Thank you. Bye.